The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always said, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Now a dump off here complete, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only a gain of just a yard, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
The defense was ready for the back to look out, and even had a second play waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling the back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will be very close to a 1st down. I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Lance Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose, and the Lions have recovered. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolded.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Davis Price on 1st and 10. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Excellent play there by Arnold Ebiketie to meet him behind the line for a loss. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Second down, and again it's Davis Price. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. So they've been unable to capitalize on a great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 3rd down, Brissett. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4th down is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Davis Price, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. And before this 2nd down. Get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Davis-Price again. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Ty Davis-Price hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Jaguars take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are back over the 500 mark for the season. Got there with a win a week ago, their second straight victory.
Well, they've definitely gotten better as this season has gone along, and from what I can tell, they know their roles. Everyone understands how they fit offensively, defensively, and this team now has an identity, and they're playing to it and playing well.
From midfield, here's Lance. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Harris going to get it again on second down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a third and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard plays. They just do that all the way down. Ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
I think now third and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. Play action, now it's Lance. Looking for the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
Against a team coming off a win, just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Lions will take over. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Second down, and again it's Davis-Price. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The CD, this offense at 11-0 now on the year. A few weeks weeks ago, I remember asking you what kind of percentage chance that you thought they had at staying unbeaten the entire season. I think you said 25%. I'd imagine that number probably grown since then.
I would agree with you, and I'm going to actually bump it up to closer to 50%.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. So first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Harris running straight ahead. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Okay, ready? Red, yellow. Right, blue.
On play action, Lance. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jawan Bentley, the one to get in and finish off the play.
The last run went so well for them, maybe they should have just handed it off right here, too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on it and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Lance looking to throw it. And it'll be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Lions are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps... And now off to the races, down the right side. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from the running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump, and he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
And the next-gen stats, it always tells us the story. What a story it is. He traveled better than 80 yards there post that initial contact. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. To throw again on 2nd down. Lance. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, for Trey Lance, not only was he the youngest quarterback in the 2021 draft class, but many say he had the strongest arm, too, and he showed it off here. And this is going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Lions are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 111 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Play fake, Brissett. Looking downfield for Godwin. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Here's second and a yard. Second down, here's Davis Price. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, Brissett drops this underneath for Davis Price. And the Lions are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Brissett now. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. Now they will run it with Davis Price. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with third down upcoming. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. The ball mere inches from the white line on third and goal. They'll try and run for it with Davis Price. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
It's an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls at work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Lance now on first down. He's going to hand the hook up here to Chase. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Throwing again on second down. Lance. Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage are forcing incompletions and capitalizing on you get first-half scores just like this one.
But he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Lance. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there. It's 3rd down. 7th play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Lance to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over about 50 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They've had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for him, because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground again here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Coming out of the end zone, D. Eskridge. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play action now. Brissett steps away to his left. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He got 29 yards that time.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 38, Brissett. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. Touchdown! Chris Godwin, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. New York on now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now a play fake. Lance. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the result. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Brissett. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. They come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD's second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Well, they fake the handoff. Now Lance. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. Lance now to throw. And it'll be intercepted. And the Lions are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. To throw, Brissett. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Shotgun, and then a handoff to Davis Price. And it's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 176 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Brissett's throw taken in by Sutton. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Give to Davis Price up the middle here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Again, Trubisky will hold on to it. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. Cade York on now for the field goal. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. He's got the leg, but it's no good. He missed it right, and they will not be able to add on to their 20-point lead. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Ready.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now Lance. He will find his man Chase complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Shotgun now for Lance. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Lance going to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Second down, and again, it's Davis Price. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
Just for baseball, we call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lance. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Conrad, after he ices down, he's going to be a nice long soaking hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The offense on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Lance. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Boy, 194 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Davis Price up the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out. That's just who they are.
Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Detroit, the streak continues as they push their mark.